munition depot. Now it's used by reserves as part of their pre-deployment training for Operation Tosca in Cyprus, where they're part of the United Nations Peacekeeping force.
But to calm things down, just for the time being, until our boss can get here and speak to the
Once your boss gets here...
But before they can deploy to the buffer zone, they're out on exercise reacting to scenarios based on real-life events.
Yeah, we're not going to stop.
We're only asking you to pause the work.
No,
while the commanders...
We'll have a word with the commander, and while we're speaking with the commander, they will carry on with their works.
They said they would. They said their boss came over here and said they would take it over. They would come over here, they would take over the land.
Here, the contested land has caused conflict between the public and the forces. The role of the reserves from the 6th Rifles Battle Group is to de-escalate the situation as quickly as possible.
Well, basically, we're trying to stop them working or hold them working until we can get the correct paperwork authorised for them to continue.
While that scenario continues to play out, I'm heading back to camp to the ops room to see how reservists keep tabs on the exercise and liaise from one point to make sure they can coordinate the most effective plan of action.
This team here and this location is all about having eyes on and an understanding of what the guys are up to on the ground. It'll be a very similar setup for ourselves in Cyprus. The area that we're covering will be slightly larger and there'll be more people that we're responsible for to ensure that we've got that oversight of what they're up to on the ground.
2-2 Foxtrot, Roger, out to you.
2, this is 2-1 Charlie.
Here the troops are patrolling the area, just like they would in Cyprus, radioing in activity and making sure peace is sustained.
It's important for us to patrol the buffer zone so we can hoover up any information and feed it back to the ops room so they can de-escalate any situations that we may come across. There might be violations, construction violations, move forwards, or any issues with immigration or people in the buffer zone who shouldn't be there.
The battle group is made up of 95% reserves and just 5% regulars. For many, this will be their first deployment.
Yeah, quite excited. Looking forward to, hopefully get a bit of time off to experience the island, and looking forward to doing the roles as well and the patrols and seeing what happens.
I'm quite excited about this deployment because it's actually my first deployment, and the reason why I'm excited is just for that togetherness with the reserves. So regulars, reserves, we are all one body, so this is my time to spend time with them. I haven't in the past, I've just always worked with the regulars, so then I'll see the whole embodiment of the MOD, including the reserves, so I'm really excited about it.
I'm going to be there for 6 months. I'm excited. It's going to be a new opportunity and just be a great all-out 6 months, really.
What are you leaving behind when you go?
My dog Pablo that I love dearly, so yeah. Oh, and my mum, just in case she sees this.
Back in the vehicle, and you can get a sense of the scale of this training area, with more than 200 buildings on site, some of which are crumbling with age, is a symbolic representation of the land out on the buffer zone. The battle group will be deploying at the end of the month, having quarantined 2 weeks prior and once they land.
We've been really fortunate because COVID hit us before our training pathway started for Operation Tosca. We've been able to plan against all of the restrictions, all of the vehicular restrictions, and have been able to rebook courses that were initially cancelled. So inevitably there are going to be times when you're conducting tactical level training that the social distancing guidelines have to be broken. However, this is done for the minimum period possible, and where it can't be avoided, like in the use of vehicles, face masks are worn. We're all wearing wristbands, and we're householding in our small groups to hopefully minimise the risk of cross-contamination.
Once out in Cyprus, they will take over from 7 Rifles Battle Group. It's the first time the reserves have handed over to another reservist force. They will then spend the next 6 months out on the buffer zone. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel.